Morning YouTube. Today we're going to be making a log store. I'm going to be making out the same stuff, which is just this 3x2. I've got here 2.4 meters of 3x2, so a lot of my measurements are going to be aimed on that being 2.4. So basically I'm going to be using 8, 16, 24. I'm using 800 deep, 1.2 high, with a fall to 1.1, so I'm just losing that 10 mil 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I'll just show you some quick plans I've just wrote up now. But basically I got these 2.4 meter 3x2s for £3 each. So this is 60 quid's worth of wood. So that's what this should cost, 60 quid for two. So in theory I'm building a log store for 30 quid. And I'm obviously gonna want to put a log store here at some point as well, because the rest of my logs are on other side at garage. I'll show you them now. So the rest of my logs are sort of here. These are, sorry, they've been worked on. They're 8 feet storage that I built. But they were my first ever builds. And obviously, hopefully, I'd like to say I've improved by now. But I want them all my wood together anyway. And I've run out of room back here. Obviously, water butt. So I want it all maybe at the garage. So, like I said, they're basically going to be the same. That's very, very rough. I've just literally just scribbled it down right now what I'm working at. So we're going to have... obviously the sides are just going to be kind of like that. I'm going to be doing 1.2 meters up with 1.1 on one side with an 800 gap in between. There's going to be 3 of them. The base is going to be, I'm using times 2 because obviously the base and the upper, the roof, it's going to be same again, 2.4 because they're in 2.4s, 800s because 8, 16, 24. I can get 3 out of each one. And then the roof I'm going to need for each one. 4 2.4s. 3 1.2s. This is just for me cutting. I've already got the wood. 3 1.1s, which obviously is a 3 1.2s, 3 1.1s. 800 for free, that's them. And then the 800 with a little marker, which is obviously going to be an angled 800 for that. The 2.4 so 4 is the full length. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not a complete numpty. That should give me 7 2.4s, which I've lined. I'm just putting them all in piles at the minute just to make sure I cut rate stuff. So 7 2.4s, 6 1.2s, which is obviously 3, which is this pile of 1.2s, 3 1.1s, so that's obviously 6 1.1s, so it's 3 of them, and then 6 800s and 6 800s with a chamfer, which obviously equals 2 each and 2 each, 8, 16, 24. So hopefully we'll cut them and we aren't ballsed up. But we're left with 3 left over, which is fine because I didn't actually measure to buy wood. I just thought 20 will do it. So we'll get them cut up. Hey, I've done just one side of the 3. I've basically got no screws. The screws I thought I had were far too big, and the other ones, they're far too small. So we just got one done for now, but I've got them all cut, obviously. One thing I did make a mistake on, for you guys who are watching and wanting to follow along, you see the angle on that one? So I originally did it like that, which is right, but it needed to be like that. So obviously I did it like that on the 2 before, just so it looks obviously like that, but it needed to be like that, so obviously it will flush on top. Another thing to notice, it split when I was putting the nail in, the screw in, so it might need pilot holes. And I did do a small little step just to raise it off the floor again, but I will be sort of putting like that on top again, so it will have an extra bit on top again. But we'll continue it tomorrow when rest at Screwsgate. It's next day now. I had no screws, so I had to buy a box from Amazon. Next day delivery. Worked out like for £4 or something it was for 50, I think. 50 screws. But come next day delivery, £4.50 maybe. So I've done my 3 sides now. Nice and sturdy, nice and nice. So they are all the same. That's them, which is obviously going to be left side, right side, and then a middle support. Now I have to do the base and the roof. Right, I've just built one frame now, which is going to be base. What I did do different is I didn't do these as 800s. I took sort of that much off, so it should, in theory, fit inside them to make it more stable. But we'll see in a minute. So basically like that. All that I've done with this middle one is obviously it's 2.4 across. So I've just done it 1.2 in the middle, which leads you to this one. It's not plumb yet because I have only put 1 screw in each one. But that is your rough idea of the shape. Now it's all coming together. Obviously the roof batten will need to go on. And then I'm going to presume I'm going to put another... I know, so one thing I did notice, obviously, I wouldn't really need this extra piece here because I did change the way I was going to do it. These could have quite easily sat on top of this and I could have not bothered with that. But it's in and it's like extra little bit of, same with the other side. Doesn't really need to be there. I put some battens on top now, just same old normal, same old? What is the same old? Just a 2.4 metre 3x2 on top, same as what I've used on bottom, but on this I've just gone directly on top. Same again with the middle anchor, just screwed into that too, doubled everything, and that's really sturdy. So that should do us now for the roof. Obviously I'm going to get some, I don't know what the proper word is, chipboard type stuff to go on top, and then I'll use the waterproof fabric that I've got previously. But that's pretty much looking good. So it's obviously a nice frame. It's all plumb, it's all level, it's all even, it's all sturdy and structural. That board there is what I'm going to use for on top, which is just some side line around it, or a big piece from a chicken coop I built. So that's going to go on top, and then I just need to figure out some slats or something for the back and the sides. But it might be with stuff I've got lying around, because I've got a fair bit of random bits of wood that I've been collecting. So we'll see what I can get to finish that off. But you'll know when I know. Right, I'm done for today again, so I'm going to be cracking on tomorrow. But what I've just done now is I had some long, let's see, just some long ones. And I obviously need to trim them off with saw. Some long pieces here, I've just put them like 200mm separate just for now. I'm going to try and get some more wood tomorrow, or Saturday, either tomorrow or Monday, because I don't know if that industrial estate will be open. Try and get some more of them long ones to go, obviously 1, 2, at least 3 more to go in between them. And then also some lengths to go from this one to this one. Same again, boom, 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 boom. And what I've decided to do for the roof, because that's only 600mm, and obviously this is 800, so that don't fit, is I'm just going to use these slats, freebies again, pallets. Obviously I'm going to give them an overhang and then just nip them all so they're all in a straight line. Because you're not going to see these anyway, because obviously I'm going to put the, I don't know what the word is for it, the stuff that stops it being waterproof, that makes it waterproof, up at top, so you'll not see that. So just leave a little overhang, and then basically we're getting there now, we're starting to look something like. So next time we finish this video off, we should be finishing the project and then moving on to the next one. Like I said, the next one's going to be a wheelie bin storage, which will be basically the same, but without that front bar, so you can slide the wheel bins in and out. But so far, so good. Everything's going all right. Well, it's not. We've run out of nail screws first day, now we've run out of wood. But was going good. Right, we've had to move the build outside before it gets too heavy. And I can't move it. So it's going to be against this wall here. That's going to be its resting position. As you can see, I've still got the 4 on the back, and I've got some more today. Like you saw my boot load earlier. So we're going to put the back ones on, put the side ones on, and hopefully get the roof done. And then position into position, and then put something in the middle so that the logs obviously don't fall through, because my logs are about 14 inch. And that's obviously 800, 600, can't remember. So we're going to get that looking more like a log store now. Right, I'm losing light now, so I'm going to be thinking about knocking it off for today and finishing off tomorrow. But I'll flip it around now. It's starting to look somewhat like now. These are not nailed on. They're just placed here for now. Obviously, it's going to have a waterproof going on top. I ain't got around to denailing them. That's what's taking time. My denailing station. Put one side on. Obviously, the back's on. The base is cut and ready. That's needs screwing down. The sides are cut and ready. Needs screwing down. The roof's almost cut and ready. Needs screwing down. But like I said, because I'm using free wood, pallet wood, it's like this all the way down. So it's obviously taking a lot of time to get nails out, and then obviously cutting it to size and then sticking it on. But that's where we're at so far. Starting to look like one now. But what I have decided I'm going to do is the back is coming off and putting on there, because the back's going to be the front. Just because of the slant, if you can see it like that. So it's higher up at the front and water runs away, rather than being lower at the front, which is what I was originally going to have. But now this is going to be the front. You'll know what I mean when I show you. Onwards for tomorrow. Morning guys, got rained off yesterday. As you can see, everything's wet, which has knackered today's ponds up, because today I was supposed to be treating it, so, and then getting it in position, putting roof on and filling it with logs. But now I'm kind of stoked because it is wet. But this is what we managed to get done yesterday. As you can see, it is pretty much finished. The top, I know it's got the holes in it, but I am gonna put the membrane on. I can do that today, that's fine. And then that's about it. Well, that's she's there. This looks like it's not straight, but it's just because it's on the ground's not even. This looks like it's on an angle. So it's gonna go there, and then like I said, I'm gonna build another one for down there. Only issue I think I'm going to be having is over the years, this with a lot of weight on it's probably going to bow, so I might have to put some reinforcement on it, which I probably might have just chuck an old pallet and straight on top. But that's it for now. Not bad for my first build. Right, managed to get roof on it, so that's all done. Thing with the roof, it was not quite wide enough to cover the full thing, so it basically was like, it came literally flush, so it wouldn't have had no overhang, you know, just to send under. So I didn't want to do it that way, so I had to run it three ways. I just used some staples. I had a staple gun, so just did that. And then obviously it's stapled underneath. Very messy, yes, but you can't see it. And then what I've had to do is I put the piece in the middle. I've stapled that down just for now. Obviously it's tight on both ends, but what I'll do is I'm just going to get some sealant to do that, because I actually need some for my garage, so I'll still be classing that as a free job, because it'll get done when it gets done. But the overhang is to about here, so even if water does get under, it's got to like come all the way to like here before it gets under. That's a good 6 inch, same on both sides. But yeah, that's my log store, and it cost about £30 to make. Just tidy it up a little bit when it dries. I can get a good paint, get it weathered, and that's it. So I just want to say cheers for sticking through this video. I know we're a bit long-winded at time as we blagged our way through it, but yep, we're all done now, and then we've got to go on to build a we live in storage next, but log store done. With a kindling shelf, that's 2.4 meters. Right, I went to paint it the other day, half in it painted, I missed some bits, but I'd used the wrong paint. I thought that colour was the same colour as them, but it's not, so I need to repaint it again. But it's rained every day for the last 10 days. We've got 10 days more of rain, but we've got 5 hours now, it's not going to rain, so I'm just going to crack on, get it once over, and then I can get it filled with logs and let it just sit there for 10 days. Right, that's it all painted up with its new colour. Looking all spick and span. Looking all uniformal now. Looking good. Just need to fill it now. Take about a year to fill it. Right, that's the store finished. I've obviously put a little bit in for now. I forgot to mention that I've built a kindling shelf on it as well. And I did brace it with some extra struts going across just to make it more stronger, yeah. But that's the product finished now. My light's not working. I just finishing this video up and I just realised it's actually only 6 o'clock, but I wanted to get out here and show you that it's all done and looking good. So that's it. So cheers for watching, guys. How to build a cheap log store for 30 quid.